The 60 TP is a Polish Tier 10 tech tree heavy tank. It's more of a super heavy than it really is your average run-of-the-mill heavy, but one thing I can say is I've gone from hating the tank to absolutely loving it, and that's why I've made so many videos on the tank in just a few months since it has been released. Today's video, I'm just going to be talking about the tank in general, why I like it so much, and why I hated it when I originally played it. So, what is good about this tank? And what is bad? Well, there's really only one downside, and that is the gun. Its gun is great. It's got 600 alpha with a standard roll, which is insane. If you're using tungsten shells and you're able to output 2 shells with that, you're getting 690 average damage with your shots. That's pretty insane. So when it comes to the 60 TP's gun, it's really good on the alpha, but its dispersion at 0.385 is absolutely horrific. I mean, this is by far the least accurate heavy tank gun in Tier 10. The only vehicle that even compares is a vehicle like the Object 268 version 4, but the 268 actually has decent aiming time compared to the 60 TP. Not only do you have really bad on-movement dispersion, really bad base dispersion, but your aiming time's also around 5 seconds. So when you add all of those variables together, the 60 TP I was running refined gun on, which was just a mistake, and it missed so many shells. After putting on V-stabs, the tank just was a different world. I think I was actually running refined gun accidentally when I first started driving this tank and didn't notice, but as soon as I changed my equipment, the tank opened up an entire new world of gameplay. So when it comes to the damage per minute, it looks bad on paper. It's got 2,379. But there's a bit of an advantage when it comes to higher alpha guns, and that's down to the fact that the more alpha you have, you're always going to have one shell loaded. Like when you're aiming at somebody, obviously you have a shell in the gun. So your DPM is what you have after you have fired your first shell and you're instantly reloading. So when it comes to a tank like the 60 TP, your DPM is 2,380 plus the 600 alpha you carry base. So it's actually quite good. The more alpha you have, the more damage per minute you statistically have as well from your first shell hit. And when it comes to this vehicle also being able to run tungsten and adrenaline, it has 2 different boosts that can give it even more damage per minute, up to around, I think, 35 or 3,600. It's not bad at all. I really do not mind the 60 TP's gun, down to the fact that even though on paper it looks like it's really bad on its DPM, it's not by any means. When it comes to mobility, the tank is not slow. It's got a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour as long as you're running it correctly equipped, I would say. If you're running it with gear oil, you can get up to 40 and go 19 in reverse with my loadout, and up to 21 in reverse if you're running both gear oils. I like to run gear oil, gunpowder, and food. That's how I do it, just because the gunpowder makes your shell velocity way better and the tank much more enjoyable to snap shells with. And then when it comes to food, you always gotta run food. That's a massive buff to your crew skills and everything like that. And then finally, I'm running gear oil to get that reverse speed and overall top speed. The 60 TP is not the fastest of vehicles. We can see the Concept 1B next to me outstripping me by quite a bit. But once you get this tank up to speed, it's honestly not that slow. A top speed of 40 for this type of heavily armored tank isn't bad at all, judging that my armor is way more effective than a Concept 1B. My upper plate is incredibly troll, very similar to that of an IS-4. And when it comes to my turret, I mean, really the only spot you're penetrating this turret when it's aiming at you frontally is the hatch on the roof. When you're using the 7 degrees of gun depression this vehicle gets, you're not going to pen it. It's really, really sturdy. So we're going to take a blind shot at that 4005. I'm not sure if it hits yet, but I guess we'll have to see. Now this first battle, it's kind of a sad one, but you'll see why in the end of this game. So far, I'm flanking as quickly as I can because we see that the enemy team has gone towards C and they're pushing onto D. We've managed to catch the Jagdpanzer off, so that's good. That guy's stuck there, but oh, he ammo racks my full health Object 140. I still, to this day, do not understand why ammo racks... Oh, by the way, another ammo rack occurs on the other side of the map to my 60 TP. 2 shots and 2 full health ammo racks in the beginning of this battle. I do not understand why ammo racks exist from full health in this game, because basically, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. It's just, oh, well, you got unlucky. Guess you'll die now. The only way I know to prevent ammo racks is making sure when you poke a corner, especially to a very high alpha gun, that you are not exposing your ammo rack. So here we go. Easy shell into the lower plate of the Jagdpanzer E100, aimed it in just a bit longer to make sure it pens, because, I mean, I had plenty of time to aim it in. So we're up to 1,855 damage, the enemy 4,005 and Jagdpanzer E100 are dead, but in that process, we've had 2 ammo racks clearing 2 of our healthy tanks. I mean, if that 140 was alive and that 60 TP was able to live just a bit longer, that could have massively changed the way this game had an outcome. But right now, oh, it's a 4 versus 3. And unfortunately, my Hori wasn't able to get out quick enough. I think he definitely should have focused a little bit more on getting out earlier. But I'm still going to get a big ol' slap into the side of that yo for 620. Not bad. I think we're up to around 24, 3,000 damage if I hit that shell in the 4,005. I'll have to take a look in the post-game results. But right now, we're not doing bad. We've got a big shell, and yeah, you can see the yo wasn't very happy with me. We got the 60 TP off to the side, so I'm going to get a slap into his track wheel. I was hoping that it was going to kind of spin him so he would miss the shell on me, but, well, as you can see, that wasn't the case to be. Good news is that I'm going to purposely put my tank right behind these barriers. And if you take a look from the 60 TP's point of view, these barriers are, like, really hard to see my actual hull from. I'm hiding my entire weak spot, so that's really solid. Now, I'm able to aim in on this 60 TP, right on the lower plate, nice tap for 566, and I'm not exposing any of my weak spots, which is great. Unfortunately, my Hori did not have enough health to take shells from that yo, and because of that, he gets finished off. We're going to aim in a heat shell right into the lower plate with the 268 version 4. Pretty easy slap. And with that, well, I mean, the issue is just the enemy has so many hit points still. We're up to 4,140 hit points dealt. And there you go. 268 version 4 gets shot by my toon mate, which is great. And I'm still sitting here thinking, well, what do I want to do? We've got the yo off to the side. I have my tungsten ready. So let me aim in a shell onto the yo. There you go. Nice tap into the yo. And, well, I'm going to jump off. I have no other choice right now. It's either sit there and take a full clip from that yo, or jump off and, you know, not bleed as much. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to do that. We're going to get a shell into the lower plate of the IS-4, making sure that my tungsten gets good use. That's another 680 damage. And you'll see I purposely positioned my tank in a way so that both of these vehicles, when they jump on me, get damaged. The 60 TP loses 600 hit points, and the yo loses 500. Too bad the yo didn't die from that. And, well, you're going to watch some really unfortunate luck here. That yo jumps off and just, I don't even know, Flossie just gets one of the most unfortunate bounces I've ever seen. And, yeah, bounces off the side of the yo, gets tracked because of that. We probably wouldn't have won this battle even in this situation. If our Hori had been able to survive a little bit longer, or we didn't have 2 ammo racks on our team, we could have won this game. But it still stands how capable the 60 TP is. 6,700 damage in an incredibly short amount of time. We're able to do almost like 5 times the grill's damage on our team. I mean, by all regards, our team just did nothing, and it's just sad. I mean, I can't get mad at the 140. He got ammo racked. It wasn't his fault. Now, to be fair, the 140 should not have poked a Jagdpanzer looking at him, but even losing half of your health is still twice as good as getting full health ammo racked. So that's the first game I thought I'd show. Second game is not as bad. This is actually a win. We're on Vineyards. Now here's another game. So what is really good about the 60 TP on Vineyards? Well, you get a couple opportunities for this vehicle. Because you're sitting at 7 degrees of gun depression, you can work the majority of ridgelines. So in the beginning of this game, as I usually do when it comes to hull down vehicles that have enough gun depression, I'm going to work mid, which is where the encounter cap normally is. When encounter cap exists, that is where I would always go when I used to play encounter all the time. But now that I've swapped over the supremacy, it's a lot rarer to find enemies to go to the same spot, but that's exactly where Flossie and I are going to go, as we're both in pretty mobile haul down heavies. So I'm going to use my top speed going down this hill. Here we go, 35, 37, 40, nice. Alright, once we got that momentum up, I'm going to use it trying to climb this hill. Here we go. And as you'll notice, I'm cutting right into the corner of this spot. Now, I'm not exactly where I normally go, but I think that this spot works a bit better for the 60, down to the fact that you can work your gun depression a bit more, and this is exactly what I was thinking. The enemy team has a couple tanks in town, and I'm able to get a nice, just beautiful snap right into the enemy 60 TP's hatch. I was really surprised that hit, but every shot you take, well, it has a chance of hitting, so, I mean, Might as well go for it, right? Now, I know that this rock is going to cover me from the enemy 60 TP if he doesn't turn quick enough. So you can see he starts looking at me right at the end, but that rock was just able to cover me. There's the 100, and we were just able to back up quick enough. You can see that bounced right off my lower plate because of the extremely steep angle we had it at there. So nice, we're already up to 1,200 damage dealt. And, well, I'm trying to think of what I want to do, because our E100's already dead. Like, in record-breaking time, we've already lost a full health E100. Thankfully, my VK72 gets a fire for 953, and the E100 on their team doesn't know where I am, so I'm able to get a nice snap onto him once again for another 500 damage. I mean, we are racking out the damage quickly here, but that's not the problem. I'm not worried whatsoever about the E100 or the Tortoise. It's the Object 84 and the T100 LT off to the side. So I'm going to pre-aim my shell. Boom. Oh, yeah. 700 damage into the side of that Object 84. Clearly, that guy did not enjoy that by any means. Good news is that we're going to reload again. I mean, the reload on this tank is not bad because it's only 600 alpha. It's not 640, where it would probably be another second longer if you had that. So you're quick enough that you can get shells like that into the Tortoise there. Another really nice snap. And what that means is we're sitting over 3,000 damage now. I still have not used my tungsten yet. We got the side of the T100 LT. Nice tap for 601 there. And, yeah, I mean, we're rolling out the damage, and, well, the only problem with this battle is the base cap. The enemy is up to 630, and they got 2 bases. We only have 1. Right now, I was just trying to think, what do we want to do? The 57's up towards B, and, I mean, we have to push. When the enemy gets towards 700 on base cap, it's just like a comp battle. If you don't push immediately to get that base cap reenacted into your side, you basically lose. So, I'm pushing on the Object 84. I told Flossie to push on the other side so that if the 84 tried running, he could get a shell in. Nice slap right into the T100. I needed that to hit because now the T100 is a one-shot for me. But, oh, tragedy. Unfortunately, just Flossie bounces off the side of the 84, and it wasn't his fault. I mean, the light tanks, the Russian line, has way too much armor. I think they should be nerfed on their armor profiles, but there we go. I was able to HE the 84, finishing him off. Flossie's getting into the base cap right now, which is perfect, so we're starting to go back up on the base capture. Aiming in on the T100 LT, aiming, and firing right at his side. Why? Why do light tanks have armor? I don't get it. Light tanks have more armor than mediums in this game. It's sad, but it's true. I honestly believe it. But good news is that Flossie pens the first shell onto the T100 LT, and I'm going to HE him. There you go. It's not like I really had to slow down. The guy's still backed up, and we're going to make it straight towards base A. Now, the problem is that there's a 57 heavy capturing base C, and with the enemy team already up to 910 on the base capture, that's definitely a problem. Our Ho-Reed did bounce the first shell. Thankfully, the Ho-Reed backs up quickly, and boom, it gets a big ol' slap right in. Nice. Alright, so what that means is now we're going to aim it on the 57 heavy. I take a shot because I need to still get to him. So there you go. We take a shot at the 57 heavy. It misses. And right now, the enemy team's up to 920 on the base cap. I'm thinking, alright, so I need to just clear this this 57. I don't really have a choice, so here we go. Aiming. Uh-oh. Ho-Re move. Alright, we got 1 shell into the 57. All our Ho-Re has to do is penetrate the shell. Oh, no. No, pen. Yes! Yes! There you go. An incredibly scary battle in the end there. Very surprised we actually got that pen out, but we were able to come out with a victory, and there you have it. So, the 60 TP is a tank that, at one point in time, I did not love. And now, I really enjoy playing it. Today alone, I'm going 80% in the vehicle and like 3,700 average damage. Just really a fun tank to drive. Overall for this month, I'm only going like 60% in the vehicle, but I cannot blame the tank whatsoever. It's still averaging like 3,500 average damage. Teams just, man, they have not been fun this past month. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, hopefully you want to see more like it in the future. Bye-bye.